At the end of Parshas Behaalotecha, we learn about Miriam speaking Lashon Hara. She gets saras, but somebody has to determine that she has saras and she has to be secluded outside the camp. That is done by a Kohen. Asks the Gemara, Zvachim Kuf Aleph Amud Beis, and who exactly was the Kohen who did that? Who looked at her saras and said, Rebbetzin Miriam, this is saras. You have to be outside the camp 7 days. Was it Moshe? Can't be. Moshe is not a Kohen. Only a Kohen is qualified to say, Negat Sarasu, this is Saras. Aaron a Kohen is also disqualified, even though he is a Kohen, because he's her relative. And in Sanhedrin Lamed Daled Amud Beis, we learn that a relative is disqualified from doing this. At the end, the Gemara concludes that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, B'Chavodo Ve'atzmoi, he honored her, and he is the one who said, this is Saras. But the question is, why didn't the Gemara disqualify Moshe and Aaron together because they're relatives? The Gemara says Moshe can't do it because he's not a Kohen. But Moshe is also her relative, just like Aaron is. The Torah Chaim in his Sefer Tzon Kedoshim explains, based on the Sifri, that Aaron a Kohen held, like the opinion of Reb Meir, that a Kohen is not allowed to see his relatives' tzaras. Could be, says the Torah Chaim, that Moshe Rabbeinu held like Tanakama. He argued with his brother, and he held like Tanakama, that Kohen is allowed to see his relatives' tzaras, and therefore the Gemara had to say that Moshe is disqualified for a different reason, because he is not a Kohen. The Meir Einei Chachamim, with a brilliant answer, he explains, in Har Sinai we all converted, and we have a rule. Gershon is Gayer Kikoton Shenoilad. So seemingly, entire nation is not relatives to one another. All the halachic relations that one had before are all nullified. If that's the case, why was Aaron disqualified from seeing the tzaras of Miriam? He is no longer her relative. Everybody converted. Explains the Meir Einei Chachamim based on the Maharal in Gur Aryeh in Parshas Vayeshev. And the Maharal says that this concept of Gershon is Gayer Kekatan Shenoidat, one who converts is like a new entity. That only refers to a person who comes and converts willingly, not when one is forced to. So what happened there at the time of Matan Torah? HaKadosh Baruch Hu took the mountain, uprooted it, and turned it over all of our heads and forced us to convert. This type of conversion doesn't nullify, doesn't cancel the family ties. So what happens? Aaron HaKohen is still considered a relative to Miriam because he was with Klal Yisrael, but where was Moshe Rabbeinu? Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't down there with everybody else with a mountain over his head. He was upstairs in Shamayim with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He wasn't forced to. He accepted Yiddishkeit, he accepted Torah willingly. If that's the case, when he converts, he is no longer a relative of Miriam, and therefore the Gemara needed to find a different reason why he is disqualified to see the Negaim, and the answer is because he is not a Kohen.